Good evening, good morning, and good night, beautiful people of the world. Welcome to another episode of our podcast, Controversial Topics. We are your hosts, myself, Dario Dowie. We have Andre Bradshaw, Reggie Houghton, and Xavier, the doctor.
Jackson, what's
Once
happening?
again, the
Yes,
ladies are not here,
I know, right?
again.
and we really needed some female perspective. I
Yes.
mean, I know we said, I know it's a fact that black men don't cheat, but we do replace, and we're being tempted. We're being neglected.
Yeah.
We feel left out. We are lacking.
You're clasping for straws, but I respect the effort. Continue, my boy. You're clasping for straws, but I
We love
respect
you,
the effort.
Tori. We love you, Tony. But they're not here again.
Starting off like
So-
that, huh? Starting off like that.
We love you, ladies. But they're not here again. And it's another topic where we actually do needed, not even one, but need some female perspective. But
Fortunately.
no females to perspect. So we want to talk about
The myth.
how we didn't even build a title, but
Let it-
the views.
Man who can do no wrong.
Yeah, so the views of
Black Jesus.
every woman's favorite man. You know him, you love him. He says all the right things for all of the wrong reasons,
Oh,
and
yes.
you buy his books. You love his advice, Mr. Derrick Jaxn, versus the man who so many black men despise with a passion because apparently he speaks all this nonsense and these misogynist
Amen.
comments. Apparently the worst man on earth for a lot of black women. A guy who I don't know personally, but if he believes what he says, I have a great deal of respect for him. Mr. Kevin Samuels.
Up, General.
Salute. Salute. Salute.
Jenna,
G.
Jenna.
Shiflo G.
So yeah, we want to look at these guys are on the different sides of the spectrum and really want to go into their views, their talking points, and see if we can really understand or even help you to understand where these guys are coming from, why we agree or disagree with what it is that they say. Go, Kevin Samuels. Excuse me. Need some water.
Even though we know that the majority is still going to believe all the bullshit Mr. Jackson says, but I digress.
But yeah. Alright, so Bradshaw's gonna kick us off with the first talking point, and it says how much is too much for people. Elaborate on that for us, Bradshaw.
When I say how much is too much, it's a question that I think most people don't consider, because even in the grand scheme of things, like how much really is too much. I mean, how much comfort do you need before you finally move? Or how much push is too much? Like, as it relates to the topic at hand. I mean, I've sit back and heard women, people I've known for years, talk about, because I've heard this from my own sister, and there's no good men, well, apart from my brother who's waiting on his woman overseas. I know, no, I'm not saying that to talk about, but those words, my sister deliberately believes that there are no good men, and I'm like, where does all of this come from? Oh, the cheating, and then I'm like, I don't think that, in the sense that you give what you get, but at the same time, people tend to forget that the person that you are giving to, how much do you know them to get what you want from them? That's something that most people don't touch on. Like, I mean, yes, everybody's acceptance rates is different, you know. Like for instance, I can view a topic differently from how a next man will view the same topic.
Right.
Sometimes it's just how the tone of the said topic is brought across. Because the whole expression, you know, now what you say is how you say it. So I'm saying that if all the comforting and all the soft-spoken words Mr. Jackson has pushed into his content to the point where actual women are literally using it as if it was the actual Bible to tell men that what you're saying is wrong. This man knows women. How much is too much that you've literally boxed 95% of all men into this category, that only one man who chooses or sees himself fit to tell you, okay, this black brother, he's good enough to date. This is how powerful he became. His words could make or destroy men's image, careers, you know, and I mean, even now, how much is really too much? People are still defending him. And I mean, there's been clips where they use his own words against him. His own words. And I think you've all seen that video, haven't you? The one where he's in the blue shirt.
That man, the schizo, yeah. Personal.
Derrick?
I really believe so. If not, he's bipolar.
Well, I mean, there is a Abba and Preach video where Abba didn't want to argue with him, so he just used some Derrick Jaxn's videos to counteract Derrick Jaxn.
Hey, let me tell you something. The man basically tell females that they want here, and they run with it. That's all. He just tell them what they want here.
As you just play with their emotion. Alright, it's like a tactic I used when I was working at a call center for Amazon. When a customer would call in angry, I side with the customer and I become angry with the customer. And I'm angry and we're both attacking this, but I'm directing the anger at the situation. So all the heat is off me and off the company and at the situation. Similar with Derrick Jaxn, like if a woman is bitter or angry at something, he's angry with her. But he's just shifting blame towards the man.
And I found it weird.
Or all men.
I mean, but alright. Here's also another thing I needed to know. Like how again that on the same point, right? How much is too much? For all the women who Mr. Jackson, you know, influenced, because that's what he is. I mean, his videos used to be leveled, you know. He at first, when he just started this, he was coming from a neutral standpoint, and this is why I listened to him at first, because I'm like, oh, you know, this brother seems level-headed, you know. He's putting blame where it's supposed to be. You know, he's not trying to side or switch one way, but then as his content started to deteriorate, you realize that no. And then when he dropped the most absurd video I've ever seen, when he's like, should a man stay with a woman even though she got pregnant for another man and bring it home? When he dropped that, I think he countered it by laughing that, oh, no man did. And then he made another video, telling men that they should. First, he made, again, I agree with the brother. Him schizo. He has to be schizo. In one video, he might laugh. He did what every real man would have done. Because any man that said, well, the baby father there, yeah, go there with him. Clearly, I mean, if you could have waited to bring him forward said child, you and him so can work it out, right? But then in the next breath, Mr. Jackson cuss every man who decides, you know what, I'm going to have common sense.
You see the thing between
Wow.
Him and the next brother name
Samuel.
Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
One use emotion to get to the more.
Mm.
Other talk the truth. The one
Very
with
blunt. Very
emotions and
blunt.
plain game to
Unfortunately,
get to the more.
even I know he's a
Agree.
bit.
Most females agree with him. The one that talk the truth and tell them the truth, them send 8 females.
Oh yeah,
So
Yeah,
yeah.
them
because
had
to them,
a
two man would
comfortable
have
life
never.
than the hard truth.
But that's just human nature. Human nature, and the human brain refuses to accept the hard truth. Brother, if a man look for me and tell me say, yo, if a man look for me and tell me say, yo, I was a combatant in World War II and I did this, I fought for the Nazis. I go look for him and say, see? And if a man tell me say, you regretting your action, I say, well, your business that still.
Yo,
But on the other hand, no. Yes, with females now, they don't like to hear the truth. No, they want to tell us men the truth, because we are dog, we are shit. But when we come and turn it around on them, oh, we are Satan. We're the worst thing since sliced bread. With a dash way,
No,
throw
no,
in a
no, no,
gutter.
no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. You're misogynistic, but as you're
I
saying,
guess
sir,
sexist.
It's because
yes. You are not narcissistic too, but they don't quite understand what the true definition of narcissism is, because the main key factor that makes you a real narcissist is no lack of empathy. That's what most women don't quite get, because you can still be direct. You may have narcissistic traits, but you're not narcissistic. We all
yes,
have
that
narcissistic
Yes,
traits.
yes,
Dario. We know Dario. We know.
we know.
We are, no, I'm no saint. I mean, there are times when my ego gets the better of me, and I do feel like I need to put in a place. But then, I have to come back into myself and say, this is not right. What me again from putting this idiot in place? Again, different story. But
Alright, so my take on it is it depends on who you ask and their perspective.
true.
Because again, if I ask a mature woman, if I ask a sensible woman, a logical woman, a logical thinking woman, she's going to ignore Derrick Jaxn
Yes,
24/7, 365.
Fox.
true.
She's gonna go. She's gonna. I mean, some women would even say, "Oh, I don't really like what Kevin Samuel says, but I can't disagree with it because he's not wrong."
And ironic,
And the thing is that he does. Sorry to cut you, but like
Oh, go ahead,
Kevin Samuels, he doesn't like bash women. He speaks the truth straight across the board.
Exactly.
Because I've seen like some men come in and are talking to him and coming to him with nonsense, and he's putting them in their place just the same. Like he speaks facts straight across. It's like he
Done.
just tries to speak facts. He's just start he lives in reality. He doesn't have a utopia mindset where the world revolves around him. None of that bullshit. This is the world that we live in. This is how it works. So this is what we have to do to work with it. End of discussion.
Agree. And there was a video of this. Sorry for cutting. But I was just adding to what Dowie said. 'Cause I remember, I mean, people used to say, "Oh, he only bashes women," and I'm like, no, no, no.
Oh.
So someone challenged me for, give me a video, because all my sees was him dogging on women, and then, I had to search and share a video with her of him talking to this black guy. He's like, oh, he wants women to chase him, and so Kevin Samuels literally had to ask him like, how much you weigh? Blah blah. And when he's like, oh,
dirty,
200 and like 80 something pounds, that after that, like the whole interview went off the rails after that. Oh, he went in on him, and I was like, wow. But honestly, he had it coming. Like, again, this is what I respect about men. We all know, especially one who have sense, we all know when someone deserves what's coming to them. That's the reality. If we're conscious of ourselves, we know, man or woman. Yeah, man. Yeah, he definitely had that one coming. Oh, Kevin did him so bad. So bad. And
the Fox, the man attack. That's the
was
thing,
it
you know.
not though?
Man
Unfortunately,
attack
again,
Fox. The man tell you what wrong with it. The man not
Sugar coat.
Man, tell us, yo, yes, you can get a man to run down here because you're overweight, fine. The man look overweight, man.
You're fat and you're short. Pick a struggle. That the man say. Pick a
Repeat,
struggle.
repeat.
Man say, yo, you're overweight and you're short. Pick a struggle.
You went in
Man, pick a struggle.
No, but I lie myself because look funny. Like if you're born short, you're fight a losing battle this already. And if you're fat on top of it, God Almighty, God go with you. So what did he expect? What did he expect?
And
well, I mean, all right. Depends how you call short because technically them say anything under 5'5" a short. Under 5'8", what that them say?
But by logical standards, yes. But we're speaking about people's illogical standards because people can be short.
Brother, I'm like 6'2", so anybody shorter than me short.
As in, sometimes
who is you? Exactly. Who you? Eh? Who you?
He's 5'11", ignore him.
Oh, shoot. I'm 5'8". I don't give a damn. I can move everybody in this chat. Continue.
But yeah, you ever think life would be better if women just thought a bit more logically?
You know, funny. I really think they can. Yeah, I just think.
No, I think they do, and that is what bothers them when someone gives them a dose of reality.
Yeah.
Because they know how to accept it, and they have to. It's like they're saying, "Oh crap, he knows how the world works too." I thought I could just like flood the argument with my emotions, but no, he has facts. Crap.
So the thing is, the reason why so much female follow Derrick Jaxn because he literally lists out all of the things that are wrong with most modern day men.
Yes.
Them cheat, them lie, them spend money. Right? So them list out all of the things that are wrong with most modern day man. Right? And then in quote unquote give them solution and
I need to add to that when you finish.
To spot red flags and avoid red flags, and if you're in a relationship and you see red flags, you're supposed to leave. So that's why most females follow him, right? But then again, when you follow somebody on social media or you give your relationship advice and all that not true, and you leave your partner because of that, what got me in the long run? Nobody now say enough to take red advice and look out for the red flags, you know.
True.
But and everybody is supposed to take advice from. Some people just not worth it.
I think you need to take everything with a grain of salt. Because as you say, he's pointing out all the flaws with men. As if to say that there are men with flaws and men that are perfect. Every man has flaws.
I mean, but to me, the most toxic thing you could ever tell a woman is to tell her, nothing's wrong with you. The problem's with him. You're a queen. You are perfect. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're not supposed to hold yourself to certain standards and have certain beliefs on morals and etc. But at the same time, in what world are you not held accountable for it? I mean, as men, we are so accustomed to it. You leave the plate in the living room. Somebody sick. You leave the plate. Your daughter leaves the plate. Gone to her bed. You wake up, come outside and still see it there. She wake up, come out, see it, walk right past it. And you're like, you left that. Oh, I forgot. But nobody sees it. This is how society is blindfolded. A girl and a boy will be playing or whatever. Same mentality. She hits him. Oh, he's a boy. That's nothing. And he hits her back. You're not supposed. That's a double standard. But society's yoked women to be coddled. And this is why reality is it comes like waves when a man speaks the truth. Like I found it mesmerizing.
The double standard you talk about. Kevin Samuels cut down on the double standard, That's why female don't listen to him. true.
Yeah.
That's why females love straight.
Honestly, what I find most hilarious about most females that despise feminism is they're the same ones who clamor about being strong and independent, but yet still,
And
when the situation
the man
when the
literally, I tell
situation
them, so yo, you're
arises
supposed
for
to be
them to
strong and
be strong and
independent.
independent, we all know what they do. They go into their little shells like
Mhm.
they're so victimized. Oh, I'm so soft. I can't do anything.
Females,
Honestly, I think,
most females want the fairy tale life. They
and
use the channel thing, isn't
But,
me?
but,
and
oi,
also
That not
go,
the
not
go watch
work. Reality
Lifetime.
will
true, but
not.
Go
also
and watch Lifetime. That them for do. If I
no,
fairy
no,
tale
no,
ain't good.
hold on. And also, I'm just saying, I believe the elder, the elderly women of the race, they did a number on the modern woman. Unfortunately, we are, and I mean, I've been on Facebook and I had to literally be trying to re-educate a few women, and I mean, oh, my heart goes out, especially when them finally realize that I'm one of the real ones, and what I'm saying is actually factual and makes sense, and then them finally come down off of them emotional high horse, and they're like, but I mean, I think I'm a nice person. I mean, I genuinely sympathize with women these days. Like, I mean, for those, especially the one who irate and cussing and then when you find it, I mean, it's simple logic. You don't have to argue with them. Agree, just like we said. Yeah, that way said I'm that way. I agreed with her, and then I said I agree. No way, that's not fair. But in the same breath, and then I interject and they're like, oh, and then them throw an next point, and then agree with them, then interject logic, and before you know it, them can have their talking points literally gone to the window.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them is relating off of somebody else's past trauma, someone's bad experience with men. One woman, terrible, terrible advice telling women for years saying, oh, she'd have one man who she claimed she'd love him have 4 kids with her, but him does this and does disappear upon her, and he
No,
wants a
them
terrible
them
guy.
are them are listen to people like there's Jackson where video we make video right in front of Mistress House. That them
Yes.
all go do.
Yes.
Yo,
Oh, that's
yo,
why he had
But the
better light
person
than
who
you,
said the
Bradshaw.
truth,
He
Huh?
had a side chick, so
them are ignore
that's why his car had better lighting than yours, Bradshaw.
them.
You are
yo,
terrible,
yo,
sir. You are
yo,
terrible.
that side chick there, she take a she
Oh,
take
here
a
we go.
sweet time for me to receipt them reach it still. She take a sweet time because she say, you know what, I'll let you apologize first and then I'll do my part afterwards. Yo, is that when she say, yo, the
Sir,
man literally
sir,
there in her house,
sir.
I walk up and
But
down
a
How do
naked,
you,
I say,
females
yo,
like them
how do
a males like them the females,
yeah,
and them man they're the player, the man them that
hold
tell
on,
them
no.
the things what you want
You
to
know,
hear,
you know how he describe his wife, and this is no insult to her or to any female, but she almost reminds me like, that fan girl that always wanted to be with you. Like your number one fan. Well, that's the vibe I get. But she was that holy girl. She's crazy for him, but she was so up in this holy thing. So
She's more addicted than in love.
yes,
Honest,
she is. I believe that. I
in all,
honestly believe that.
in all honesty, me feel
This
say
is why. She,
enforce her for this video.
excuse me.
I don't know if he forced her, but she kind of scared me when she did the solo video and
Yes.
talking
Like
about how she's in the
like
army of the Lord and she's fighting for her marriage.
me feel like said the
Something was
crap.
just off about it and it was kind of
And
creepy.
then
Me
and
feel
then
like
somewhere in
said
that
the crap.
same
Something
thing,
wrong.
she was saying that only God alone can, not even Jesus can save Derrick. Then how if you're going to say something condescending like that about your husband, but then you're going in the same breath, you're fighting for your marriage. I know
Exactly.
that's something that
all right,
in good faith. Yeah,
honestly,
yeah, he probably has to fight for the marriage because the kids, and probably he's begging for not the money, not to rip the money part all
yeah,
time because
what she did leave initially
no,
and
well,
then
no, she hasn't filed for divorce.
yeah,
That's
me
the thing.
know.
Until
No, me
if
just
she
say, yo,
files for that, no, him get knocked because she'll get it. And I don't think he makes you sign a prenup because it's for his image. Team
I'm sorry.
Jackson, what's happening? If people got wind that Team Jackson had his wife sign a prenuptial agreement, oh my, yeah, it'll be bad for the business, it'll be bad for the image. So she not sign it. So when things start falling apart, we all understand why brother have to try to damage control. But how can you do damage control outside of your mistress's house? That's not damage control,
You see that?
bruh.
You see that? No,
That's
you see
not
that now?
damage control, bruh.
No, it kind
Like,
of just
wow,
just prove a
you
point
see.
about the type of man Derrick Jaxn is.
But I think the reaction video when do about the apology was in front of the missus house as well, you know, if I
Yes,
remember correctly.
yes, it was. Yes, it was. I was like,
My Abba and preach.
wow.
The man say, yo, I think this man is having a borderline emotional breakdown. Like the man, they say, yo, the man brain must lose something
Sir,
because
sir.
there's no, yo,
The
there's
man
no way this,
schizophrenic. The man schizophrenic.
Man,
yo,
Wrong with
he's
him.
narcissistic. And I know to some people this will be taken that we're just angry black men finally getting to see a black brother. Well, I know it's coming, but I mean, yo, for those of you who did Shakespeare in high school,
yeah,
there's a play called The Merchant of Venice, right?
Yep.
Right now,
One of my
we are
favorite Shakespeare
getting our
plays.
pound of flesh. We are getting our pound of flesh, unfortunately. But this
no,
is not in bad faith. But this is not in bad faith. This is supposed to be a learning experience. At the end of this, I don't think anything said here is to make women view men as less or bitter or spite. We know Derrick Jaxn was full of crap. We knew it. We knew it. We were just waiting for y'all to get this.
I've been saying it, you know.
Some of them don't know it
I've
because they're still buying his book. They're
Oh
still
my
listening to his
yes,
videos.
unfortunately.
I've
Feeding
been-
I'm not surprised.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
my
Every
God.
time I
Yeah,
say
I said
somebody
that
said
too.
me, yeah, I'm hating on him. What did
I know, right?
What did they get both?
So
I
what?
know, right?
I decided to do myself.
Oh, he has money. He has bigger muscles than you. Yeah,
Well,
but he
He's
did it.
taller, he's darker, he's handsomer.
Yes, and his
Or
father
more
is
handsome.
Jamaican, and that's why he's a.
Hold
I
on,
know,
hold on,
right? Jamaican guys staying on a Jamaican descent. I know, right? We are
hold on,
technically
hold on.
oh,
Yeah, him have more
not
muscle.
technically.
Yeah,
No, but
him than me. Yeah,
Oi,
him taller than me.
when
Yeah, him
when
richer than me.
the
But
picture
he's
when posted
better than
for
me.
Facebook, I thought about the man have a Jamaican father. I miss a couple female come. I said, "Oi, let me tell you this." I said, "If anyone ever say about how yeah man, that explains a lot." I said,
oh
I was
God,
That me-
this close, this close
stop
to
it!
said
No, stop it! It happens. It happens because I mean, I found myself looking at people and saying, "Are you people dumb? Do you know that men cheat across the world, regardless of where they come from, right? How silly do you think this is? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning cheating. I am not. But men do.
Black men
That's
don't
a
cheat.
reality. That's a reality. Most people don't want to admit. Women cheat.
Derrick Jackson's a white man then.
I know, right? I know, right? A tall vanilla brother. I know, right? But
Alright, guys. Alright, while we're on the topic of how
Uh-huh.
much is too much.
mhm.
This is why I really need a female. We need a female on this episode. How much? How long do you think it will take women to actually take responsibility for their actions? And not good is sarcastic. I want to strangle you, but you laugh. That's not wrong.
No, you can't do that.
Yo.
No.
Your laughter
I'm
isn't
saying,
wrong,
no,
even though I want to
I don't
strangle you
care.
for it because
I don't
the
care.
sarcasm
I don't care.
The thing is,
Alright,
the thing is,
consensual.
let me just apologize to you guys and the females, but the reason why I'm laughing is because I am of the view that hell will freeze over on this planet before that ever happens. I'm sorry.
no,
Alright,
I'm not
hold on.
gonna agree with that.
No,
Of
no,
all
I'm
the
not
things,
gonna agree with that. You have
please.
some females where um you have some females where with
you like this much?
Dario, get away.
Am I wrong though?
Yeah, I have some females
Am I wrong though?
say yo
No.
them wrong.
Sorry, answer.
Yeah, I have some females that will say them wrong. Like stand up and
But
say
it's
yeah,
like,
I was wrong.
Hold on,
And
stop it.
and
Where them there?
actually try fix the problem.
That's a lie. Not to worry, just
Hey,
admit
blah,
it.
blah, 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 blah,
Let
blah.
him answer. Let him speak. Let him speak.
Yeah, so we actually say them wrong and try to fix the problem. But then you have some where we decide say yo, them never do nothing wrong, them never say nothing wrong. And then we climb Mount Everest and come back down and still say them right. You get me? But the ratio kinda off still. I'm not gonna say a whole heap of
Kinda
them.
off. Fracture.
The point I'm trying to make is
Kinda off.
you do have females out there that will stand up and say, yes, I was wrong, and I'm willing to try and fix things. That's the point I'm trying to make. Not all
in what
females that
number,
say,
sir? In what droves are we talking? The handful of the handful of you are talking about, Rasa? Are we talking about the overwhelming number of those who rather die than admit to them that it's possible that they can make a mistake? Which one are we? Which numbers are we talking about?
I'm gonna stop. Yo, yes, Derrick Jaxn, remember Derrick, Kevin Samuel said,
Yeah.
you attract who you something there, yeah? So put yourself attract.
Guys.
Never think about what Kevin Samuel mouth is goddamn is the word of God, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know. Again, 95%. I agree with him. When everything come out of the Jenna mode, he just
but him right.
Again, 95% of the time. I don't say no. I agree. Yes, he's right.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Again, that the 5% of my grain of salt. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Guys. Guys, so what brought about this question is this is a really old tweet. I think it's probably from last year. Well, not that old, I guess. Where a woman was basically saying women need to start taking responsibility because it's not a case that men are trash. It's a case that our taste in men is trash because we as women we literally trade men who treat us like queens for men who turn us into single mothers. And I can honestly say that's a fact.
Wow.
Not because I've made any single mothers. I don't have any kids as yet.
Yet.
I'm single.
For now.
You might for now.
May I give him till COVID end. I give him till COVID end, but again.
Yes, the thing is.
Yes, he's the man of build
right now. The engagement and the marriage. That's all I'm saying.
I will fly down for that wedding, but again, I will fly down. No, enough. We fly down for that one, brother man. You deserve my presence for that day. You deserve my presence.
You look like the man have him iPad and one tick as the door.
Man,
I'm too nervous to even ask this girl out on a date, and you're telling me to ask her for marriage. My nigga.
No, I have to toast. I wanted to toast Rasta.
Perseverance.
Anyway, we're not talking about my
yes.
hypothetical love life right now.
Right.
As you were saying, yeah. When do you think women would like? Cause a lot of the times, even with the woman that made the tweet, I would assume that she has been through some shit, and like after life experiences, she's now wised up, and she's like, yo, if I had chosen this dude instead of this dude, I probably would have evaded certain problems. Obviously, life would not be perfect because imperfect people, imperfect world, blah blah blah. But like, I would have probably avoided a single mother role or this issue, that issue, whatever.
I believe, Louis.
How many women will wise up at a young age, so they can like avoid this kind of shit.
Well, I mean, I'm always for educating people, you know, I don't believe, and this is something I think needs to go hand in hand. Never let your schooling, affect your education. And most people don't understand what that means. Some people believe because of a piece of paper, you understand everything. And I won't lie, I've met people with that level of arrogance. Women and men. When I go on a corner, man and woman. But I mean, when a man does it, I mean, we can tolerate it because we know, say, some men believe, say, some men that's the only thing they can lead with, them education, because their life is literally anything else. But when a woman does it, it rubs men the wrong way. And, I sat out to try and understand why it offend men when they hear a woman be. So I have a master's in marketing, and can you believe that guy? That guy there, he just has an associate degree and acting like we are on the same. It does, to me. It does look good. To me personally, and to every man out there who agrees. I mean, a masculine woman.
There's a saying. I heard this saying a few years back. It says, a man that study, um, a man that study and have the degree is more smarter than a man that study and have their doctorate.
Yeah,
I've heard that before. I never really understood
I
it.
can understand from a philosophical level. I can get it from there. From a philosophical level, I can get where my say. I know because the amount of time and energy it takes to get the initial degree, you put up more energy, you're more humbled by information.
You actually study the entire field to get a degree. When a doctorate, you study one specific part of that field. So basically what it's saying is that, as I say, and everybody was smart of sense.
Yes.
Basically.
I've met a few.
Basically.
Yes.
So you have some educated fool out there.
It's the difference between education and intelligence. 'Cause education is just what all you know is what someone has written down or what someone has taught you. Intelligence,
Remember.
it can vary and be a lot wider.
Yes.
And it also has to do with like application of information. With education, you just know what they told you, nothing more.
Do you want to know something very funny what most people don't know?
What?
Every degree is actually hours of reading. Almost every degree is actually
But
hours.
they say you read for your degree.
No, but I've actually done the math myself already. It's actually hours, hundreds of hours of reading. Research is actually not that. I mean, yeah, just to show that you understood what you've read, but ultimately, if you grasp what you read, you've learned what. I mean, there are guys who have read law books and can recite the law like the back of their hand, and they've never stepped foot in a courthouse. I've watched on YouTube where this black man, I think he was a Muslim or I forgot, he's a tall brother, and he defended himself, and he was giving her penal codes, and I was like, wow. And he's like, I don't want this man to defend me. I'll defend myself. And I was impressed. I was very impressed. But again, he didn't go to a law school, so I'm just putting that out there. Even engineering, it's hours and hours of reading, especially the one of them give you a UTech or you. I'm mostly theory. 1 year practical don't really mean nothing. But again, a year now, I don't know how the program has changed. Nobody, please don't kill me. Again, I left them part of learning a long time. Please don't nobody no come after me.
Voila. It not get any better.
Yes, sir.
Listen again.
I'm not afraid to talk. Anybody who went to college and has left for like about 3 years or 4 years after, yeah man, college just regress and dip on a tiny slope Our left for the college, them do I just get blast up.
Sir,
And
Bro.
sir, sir, I know people who have architectural degrees on them wall. They haven't used that degree in years. Like again, it's nice to call yourself an architect. I know a lot of people who call themselves doctors and lawyers and don't know that. And I'm just saying.
Come and
It's a
get
nice title to have because of the respect
Exactly.
it commands. It commands a lot of
Exactly. That's all.
respect, but
That's
it
all
doesn't
it end
really
up.
command a lot of money.
yeah,
I mean,
because
that's all it end up.
yeah,
Even
because
martial arts. Oh, I'm not saying it's the same thing in everything. Even martial arts that I've done so many years of my life. Even while I was doing rugby, I was doing karate. And if I don't get up at daytime and just do some basic practice to run through all of that knowledge, it starts to slip. Yeah, same thing with the paper. At the end of the day, it turns out to be a very expensive piece of paper. If you turn 70 and have it same way, if you still have it, it's just expensive paper. That probably the ink would have probably rub off by them time there. I'm just saying.
Don't mean diddly.
Exactly. Push come to shove. It's just an expensive piece of paper that you probably still have paid the pay off your student loan in your older age. Still.
So
Yeah.
let's not go there because I will scream.
They're not even gonna
But yeah, all right. So I wanted to move on to the next question, our next talking point. So Bracha, elaborate again. The point is, did the baby boomer generation set the stage for the inevitable fall of modern women?
And men.
Question.
I left off and men, but I mean
And men, okay.
yeah, I left off
Yeah,
the and
because I wanted to touch on that. We don't
yeah,
want to
and
pick on
men
the
too.
women too. We want to talk about the
I,
men
won't, I
too.
won't pretend. Like I've realized that I mean, yes, the women are not again, ladies, forgive me. No offense. You know, this is just off of what I've seen in vast numbers. Majority of women, modern women nowadays, aren't up to my level. Please don't kill me. But I'm just saying, from a man who's been raised traditionally, I've been raised traditionally, believe it or not. Most of them don't even quarter ready for my wife. I'm just saying.
make them
No
know.
offense. No offense. No offense. No offense.
Shots fired.
Hold on. People need to understand this. My mother raised 5 children. You understand me? She was a wife. She was a wife first, and then eventually evolved into a businesswoman. And because my father saw the quality in her, he invested into their business. They invested together. It wasn't a push come, and then she push him out. Nothing like that. And I believe maturity has a lot to do with this problem too. Okay.
True.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maturity has a lot to do with it. I mean, people don't understand when you take those vows, for better or for worse. I don't think most people truly understand the words they're reciting in front of God.
They really just mean for better.
Really think about, and I think this should be an exercise to everybody. Read the typical wedding vows. Read them, because this is not just words that the pastor is going to recite. This is a covenant. This is a word covenant in front of God, man, and the Holy Father.
That's what I'm
Most
saying
people
now.
don't know this.
Get married.
Yeah, the words.
Can say till death do us part. Me not divorce. Me not believe in a divorce.
In hell, and
Just
don't
fuck
get
with
me
me.
wrong. I mean,
Till death do us part.
and it's push come to shove.
So when we have to go 6 feet under. Me not believe in a divorce.
Me not believe in a divorce.
Right.
Sure. I tell my wife that long time. I don't believe in that.
Right.
Push. Say, hello. We go counseling till the counselor sick away. You feel me? The council supposed to know by your first and last name them.
I'll nickname too.
Who tell you? Shoot. All nicknames can give it, or him can give it, but I don't mind.
Yeah, man.
Black men don't cheat.
And
Yeah,
the
man.
boss.
Yes, sir. Black men don't cheat.
Tell
But
Yeah.
power to the people.
but what well, where was I? Where was I?
Oh crap! I lost track. Oh, I should have been paying attention.
Good stuff.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Let me chime in.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, as I said, I don't want to just pick on the women.
Yes, agreed.
I have some talking points as well.
Thank you. That was your ad. I continue. Go on. I just something that should have go on, but go on. You
Yeah,
have the floor.
because I do have talking points where
Uh-huh.
sorry, I watched a video with named Tarian Cardwell or Tichil Killer, whatever or whichever nickname is. I don't know if to pronounce his nickname. Where he's saying how men don't know how to be men anymore.
Oh, the video they sent. Oh,
No, as in, this was just a small incident still where he said he was getting some gas for his car. It's self-serve, so he has to go inside and pay and come back and pump the gas. So he saw the lady pumping her own gas, goes over to her, asks her if she wants assistance, and he sees her boyfriend in the front seat just sitting there chilling. So I'm like, why was he what's up with that? Because if the man was in there probably sleeping, we can say, all right, maybe he's just coming from work and he's tired, and that's why she pumping the gas. In that case, I give him the benefit of the doubt. But if my nigga was just there chilling, probably on his phone or whatever, while a woman pumping gas, like, is she really a woman, bro? Like,
Well,
I know this is a small thing, but
yes,
if you are her man or if you are a man, wouldn't that be considered like disrespectful to a woman, bro? What kind of thing that?
Well, to me, it depends on the kind of man you are. A traditional man, that's an offense. No traditional man is going to sit there, and this woman pays for the gas. Let's even go as far as say he even allows her to pay for the gas. There's no way she should pump her own gas. That's my view as a traditional man.
Pride alone.
You understand me?
As a man lose them woman.
No. You sit in the car.
Yeah, treat the female away. So you basically treat the female like one of your friends then.
Exactly.
So you're gonna lose a woman.
Exactly. And I have no sympathy for men who believe say, oh well, like this day and age at 50. You say 50 who? And again, this is up for debate, right? Because there are men out there who believe say, earth for flat, it's for level. And I'm a strong believer say no, it's not for level. I'm sorry. No matter how much struggle as a man, and no matter how many I make the big money, I don't believe push come to shove. If you are where you say you are, and hold up with this. If you did say you are going to do it before you and her there, live up to what you tell her. I'm a strong, but if you promised her the moon, sir, I don't know how you're going to do it. I am sorry. You promised her it, you have to go do it. Don't, and this is back in the day. When men used to say things, they meant it, they did it. Those men don't exist no more. Are they dying out? Nowadays, we have men who are so soft-spoken and so emotional that you can't even have a man conversation with men anymore. Because somewhere in the man conversation, you're going to say one thing where one man who don't understand that this is male humor takes it personally. You've all been there. You've had a conversation where every man a laugh and you're going to say one thing. And that one thing, one man, and instead of him just be chill about the situation, he gets in his feelings. And they're like, no, we're all joking.
A bunch of snowflakes.
No, but that's where society is going now. men have gotten overly sensitized. Men have become, and I'm trying my best not to blame women, but push come shove, some I blame I got go upon them. And again, I blame men too because men sure men, no matter how you and the woman can
But
agree.
you see the thing is,
Mm.
I'm not gonna blame men for be some of them for be oversensitive because at some point, and it's still happen now,
Mm.
man can't show the emotions because if we do show emotions, we're gay, we are girl.
I don't think he's referring to like
No, no,
expressing your
I don't.
emotions from
Some
hurt.
I think
some
I'm
males
missing
show
I
the
something.
think he's I
emotions.
think
No,
he's
It's
no,
more
me
along
think
the
you
line.
No, I'm not. No, listen to me. I say,
mm,
I'm just paraphrasing what people say
mm,
about males that show emotions,
mm,
right? Some people have even say, yo, like the video where the female say, "Where you ball for? Yeah, body one." You remember that video there?
Mm.
Exactly. So some males not gonna show emotions and some are gonna show emotions. The man them a show emotions.
mhm.
By all means, show your emotions. I hear emotions to show,
True.
but don't be too oversensitive with certain things. Everybody have their own opinion. If you're gonna get offended by everybody's opinion, then you're a snowflake. It's simple as that.
Mhm.
Or some
Um,
people can voice an opinion and you disagree with it, and you say, yo, I disagree with it, and then have a conversation and then move on with your life. But when you get
Yeah, yeah,
oversensitive and
yeah,
cuss
yeah,
and go on the most way, then
yeah. Here's the thing that
apart
I've
from that,
discovered, especially in our field and what we call Jamaica, especially at the college level.
mhm.
You could be having a cut. I'm going to put it nicely because people like to say we have conversations at the college level. It's not a conversation, but I digress. But when you are voicing your opinion, apparently it's the biggest sin ever because if you disagree, that means, oh, it's the biggest deal ever. The world must know.
I
I try
really
to,
thought it was I really thought it was a foreigner thing. I didn't know Jamaicans did it too.
oh,
Really? It
I
reached
was,
out.
yeah, I was,
No, because
the
in
first,
Jamaica we've always had the thing where we can agree to disagree. So yo, just because,
Exactly.
and in addition, just because I
Exactly.
don't agree with you
So that
it's a,
doesn't
disagree.
mean I
no,
want you to die.
but I
Right?
mean, there are some people that just, when you say something, especially when it regards religion, yeah, you could say that I don't really particularly agree with this passage or that doesn't really make any sense. It's the worst thing you ever do.
I'm
They
gonna
will
talk
go
about it.
they will go to the earth and back and say you are wrong. And even when you agree, they are going to say you don't believe that, blah blah blah. And then when you're like me and you're an asshole and you're just so blank and you're just there smiling and amused, you just go say, then why are you getting so angry if it's the truth?
You said religion, so I'm gonna bring it up.
Um,
I'm go
you see,
I'm gonna bring it up.
I think that's something most people don't know. You
but that's
see,
a question for people to consider.
when you're arguing and you start getting angry, you open yourself up to be asked the difficult question. And the difficult questions aren't necessarily big questions. It's the small questions that you don't want to be told that, it just threw you off because you expect this big, well-worded response. You're like, but why are you here? I mean, you came here. You literally walked from where you were. Come here. Nobody called you here, but you're here. Why are you here then? I mean, you're free to walk away. Nobody's shackling your feet. Why are you here?
Exactly. I
And
didn't hold
and
it. I'm not holding
and
it to the argument.
it blows a fuse on them head.
It's like
And them,
it's like them, it's
They
like
have
them
to
two
huff and
shots
puff and
when
blow
they're
your
trying to say,
argument
yo,
down.
you
yo,
get
this
up and you walk away, and they walk you down. Walk you down.
I
Call
particularly
you
agree with how you
pussy.
worded your statement.
You're walking away. You're not even arguing back. You're not even arguing back, and people are walking on a cuss you. You know, 3 years our ex-boyfriend. You know, 3 years that you left her. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Oi, me not even want to touch upon that ex-boyfriend. Cause when the man when some situation like I have seen some shit on GC first, and sometimes I have to just make some light of some situations. But it's just so ridiculous, Bradshaw. You just have to open your eyes and wonder if this is really planet Earth. Like, you have to wonder if it's a simulation you're doing or something. Like, really? This was on?
And I think I've said this to Dewey before, and I'm going to say this to the two of you gentlemen because I think you will agree with me. Dewey see it already, I'm known probably see it too. I say in the next 20 to 30 years, Jamaica will have no culture. Our culture will be swept down under the USA, and our people will become mini drones, mini Americans, or Jamericans, as we passionately call them up here. Well, them are their yard too. I want to see the yardy version because I mean, we in our culture now where you ask a child Jamaican history, Jamaican culture questions, and they draw blanks. But if you ask them about Hannah Montana, you ask them about anything that is across the seas, they have an idea.
Some even know the capital of them Paris, so blur it now.
Exactly.
Much,
you want to laugh, ask the child.
To actually learn Jamaican history in a high school or primary school.
I did. I actually did.
Let me hold on. All of Jamaican history are just the one what they give in our book. What they say,
one that they gave us in the book.
All of Jamaican history. We're not read about.
In a school, a book. But for myself, college, going to college, you have to find that shit for yourself, isn't it?
Sure.
I was gonna ask about the Lil Nas X thing because you brought up religion, but I'm not
gonna
bother.
Wow! Seriously, yo, you shall bring this up for the first point. Is this too far? Is this too much? Yo, you shall bring it up. Them time the vote. Sure. Why not? Let's
I watched the full video, but I have no issues with it.
I watch part-time. You have no issue with it?
I'm going to say this. Honestly,
I can say this about it. It's gay. I mean, he's gay. I mean, he is homosexual, but I don't see the issue with it.
But
my only issue is people complaining about it. My issue is Christian people complaining about it.
No, that's not even my issue, right?
Yo,
that's not even my issue.
Brother, me I complain about it too.
Why?
Why not?
No, as in, what is your complaint? That's what I meant.
Brother, the whole thing about dynamic and blood in the shoes and sacrifice.
Hold on. No.
People
what about it? Hold on, let him finish.
People are saying mature, but brother, I don't give a shit what them want to say. Me not agree with it, and nobody can change my mind to agree with it.
I'm not saying you're supposed to.
No, hold on, no. Dario. I saw part of the video, Zine. I'm not going to be Rajiv. I say, yo, don't agree or disagree. I just don't care. But when I see people being outraged, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fall for the trick again. I'm gonna fall into the trick again. He's doing this because he knows it sells. He's doing it because he knows it's going to make it fun.
There is no trick. There is no trick. The man not troll. There is no trick. The man do it because he mean it.
I never said he's trolling. I said the man do it
and
because
what if he does though?
Money all the time.
Rajiv, you still not answer your own. You still not, you can't elaborate on your question. What if he does mean it?
What? Where say?
As in, what if he does mean it? I still don't see the big deal.
Yeah.
The big deal is mainstream media and everybody else are push it, brother. Them are push it out there. You know, say all of the shoes them almost sell off, right?
They're not already.
Oh, by the way,
they were sold in 1 hour.
This is the thing. These are the thing where them are push. Them are show to the picnic and other people. These are the things that them are try push so people can buy into it. No, brother.
Talk first, brother. May I say something after?
I believe Nike stepped forward and shut down that whole thing because Nike never had an agreement about that. You know, I mean, your brand still have value in it. Then
let me tell you something. The only reason why Nike don't agree with that because people did not bash it. They say people not buy it, them would have push it. Them just a save face. That's all them.
That's a fact.
Yeah, damage control.
Exactly. But again, I still don't see why people are complaining.
No, Dario, Dario.
Sorry, specifically Christian people.
No, Dario. Hold on. No. Here's my thing, right? Like I personally couldn't care. Less because if a man want to live in life like that, a Satanist, whatever it was, because feel busy with that.
Exactly.
But hold on. No. Me I say me as a youth I come and watch Lucifer, I watch all sorts of shows. I have the devil sign it. I'm saying like we not outraged about that, but we are got outraged because he's a black man who
No,
have come
people
out
actually, you know, say people
Hold on,
actually
man.
outraged
Hold on,
about
man.
Lucifer though.
I couldn't
People
care less.
actually
To
outraged.
the same extent.
Huh?
To the same extent.
To the same extent, but that I think people now, it's because Lucifer is at that level where if people outrage about the people not really care, they get me mainstream media done not push that already.
So
Streaming platform done not push that already. Them push
Outrage makes less sense than the video.
No, but Dario, I'm saying them a push this narrative, fan
video is going to
people
destroy
overall. So it is okay. It is not okay, brother.
As in, my thing is, I would want to ask Lil Nas why he gave the devil. Hold on, I would like to ask him why he gave the devil a lap dance, because culturally, historically, and racially, would have really messed with the devil like that.
Yeah.
My first thing was like, does he know that he's black? We don't really deal with the devil like that. He's not our nigga like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how can you be a Christian and you're always condemning homosexuals? Say, yo, you're going to hell. He literally sent himself to hell, and you have an issue with it. One of the reasons why he's going to go to hell is because Jesus doesn't like gay people. And if the devil is the opposite, obviously he would like gay people. So he went to hell and was accepted, and you're still mad. So that tells me that the problem isn't Nas or gay people. The problem is you.
Yo.
So why are you outraged? That is why you're outraged.
Yo.
That's just my take.
See, the thing is, I don't know my standpoint denomination and something.
Yeah.
Me not say nobody about them, because anybody can repent and change their life, brother. You get me? My problem is that mainstream media and a whole lot of bigger platforms have pushed the narrative that it is okay. It is okay to do things like that and get PMOs.
Clout.
You get me? It is not. My point is, alright, and they need to stop push narrative like that.
I'm not saying it's okay, but
I mean,
as I said, my main issue was just the Christians complaining, because I never really got that.
Hold on. Alright. That's what I said something, right? Right? It's not okay, but I mean, we can use historical facts and sure say there's always a flip side to every coin, right? Like for instance, I mean, you'd find a few black people and black leaders would say, I find it hard to worship the same God that, allow my people to get whipped, beat, murdered, raped, every day, and still my God praise him on Sunday. I mean, I'm not trying to paint the argument, but I mean, there's a flip side to every coin. True. I mean, Christianity is no goddamn saints. Christianity's history is bathed in blood.
Roman Catholic
whole heap of a whole heap of foolishness the church has done and been involved in. I mean, I'm not justifying what a youth are doing, Rasta. But I'm saying, we can't play like we're all perfect. I mean, if you want to go there, a man can make a case to say, but the church not perfect either, Rasta. The church turn a blind eye, for example, in Jamaica. Even though we're not got this one. I mean, the church was blind eye for years when crime had tear down Jamaica. People are dead, but every Sunday people show up to pay them tithes. People show up to say hallelujah, praise the Lord, and go back in the little place where we're gunshot at bus, and them a duck. And the church kept quiet years. But since COVID now,
Dr. Umar Johnson has actually spoken about this.
Are you serious? Well, I'm just saying. going
Yo,
forward.
honestly, when I saw the clip and I saw the entire outrage, Facebook and Twitter, cause me have a lot of
What
overseas
you
friends,
got too hard
and
over this?
no, Bracha,
I
you
give
see,
much
no,
attention.
I'm
That's
a
how
type.
I care. I give too much attention.
No,
I mean,
but what?
in a
No,
word,
but hold on. No, no,
to me, I
you
was
see when it started, I was like, on a fall fit, on a keep on a fall, the same trap over and over
Yo,
again.
they fail so easily.
big yes, man.
And then
Because you have the
I
one
heard
play
someone,
tear down. I couldn't
I heard
believe I
someone
get up to like,
narrative
really?
that no, I
Then
heard
you
someone come with this narrative that it's destroying the children. I'm saying the children are the doomed from everything wanna push before this. So what difference does it make? One not try to tell me say
This is a
so
microcosm.
no, hold
let's
on.
see what been pushing
So
for
may I
that.
say
Hold on. All I'm saying is, right? Sorry for cutting
yeah.
you. So, I mean, again, people want to play tit for tat, right? So the gay pride parade, what do you think that makes a child feel happy or traumatized? I've seen videos and pictures of people walking beside little boys and little girls, and the children are cringing because grown men walking past them and grown women walking past, being very liberated, being very free, and this is terrifying the children. And some of them waving at the kids, and the kids are like looking at like, what's that? How do you explain that? I'm just saying.
Son, that's two bisexual males and all these things. Nothing new. Yeah, that's such a comfortable conversation to have with your son or daughter. Mate, you see, mate, this world has been warped into making
Yes, it has.
everything that comes out on mainstream media. I mean, I couldn't care less because I'm just that type of person. But if they want to make the argument that it's destroying the children, man, I can find five more things that are destroying the
As
entire
Vibes
world.
Cartel, let me just recite the words of Vibes Cartel before we move on.
Mhm.
If you are looking for Vibes Cartel or any entertainer to be the main role model for your child, you have already failed as a parent.
And yet, and just before we move on, and yet still our prime minister wants us to believe that dancehall music is destroying our culture.
Hold on, hold on, hold
Yeah.
on. To answer that question, to answer that question, to answer that question, to answer that question. The Prime
Rajiv,
Minister says that
Rajiv, hold on
dancehall
there,
is the
you,
reason for
Rajiv,
violence in the country.
Rajiv.
Hold on.
I nah say nothing.
Which Bounty Killer song was Christopher Columbus listening to? Let's move on.
Yo, yo, I got crucified the island, yeah. Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Something say about me not to talk about that. When
Let's move on.
yo,
Since
yo,
violence began
gentlemen,
after
gentlemen.
dancehall began.
Oi, Twitter is undefeated here. That Twitter is undefeated.
All right. So as the lies people propagated to smear black men as monsters, can that change? So the examples given were
What?
color
What
purple,
is so funny, man? What is so
waiting to,
funny?
the lies people propagated to smear black men as monsters. Can that change? Examples: color purple, waiting to exhale, and the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched Waiting to Exhale.
I have. Actually, a good movie. Believe
I
that or
might
not.
have seen it, I just don't know the name. That's also a
I,
possibility.
Whitney Houston was in there. What's your name
yo,
again? That fine 60-odd-year-old. What's your name again, man?
yo, say,
Have a body of a 20-odd-year-old. I mean,
yo,
she definitely a grandmother. You would, What's her
I
name?
won't say
Angela
anything.
Bassett.
I won't say a word.
Angela Bassett and a few other people.
Oh, and
Angela Bassett
Bassett,
was
Angela Bassett. Oh, Auntie Angela, yeah man, good body.
a good movie. But I would say this much more that the freshman Sabellier is something that we as a culture don't want dissect. And it took me a while to sit back and actually watch it over and realize, how did I find this entertaining again?
Like what aspects though?
All right, let's see.
Oh, hold on.
Fresh
Bradshaw is about to ruin our childhood, ladies and gentlemen. Let's
happiness.
No,
go.
no. You see, honestly, I'm so intrigued. I couldn't care less. Yo, let's go. I'm all for it.
So
Let's go. Let's go.
there's a lot of stereotypes of the black man is put in the face of everybody in the beginning of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's a single mother household.
Mm-hmm.
He was raised on the streets.
Yep.
He was prone to violence.
Yep.
You know, there was no father in the household. His father was a bum. He drifted to and fro. You know, he didn't want to hold on to responsibility as his father. And in fact, that make Will grow to become the typical bad boy. You know, ladies man. Another stereotype. Will don't find education. He doesn't find, you know, and this is way down, you know, the thing when it's close to the end, when we'll actually start think about like college and, you know, education and the future. Them time there. And then on top of this now, let's go further, right? Carlton Banks. He would be seen as reflection of us.
Oh boy.
Where does this man seem? The intelligent ones. The one of them head on them shoulder. People who are think 401k, 20, 30 years down the line, he's set for the rest of his life. We are projected as a short, nana culture, don't over talk to woman,
Naive.
ear-headed,
Nerdy.
you know, nerdy, not charming, don't know for all a conversation, you know, geeky, can't dance.
Arrogant.
Carlton couldn't dance, to me anyways. But the point
Man,
I'm
the
making is,
dance, man. The man have some good
Yo, me not,
dance.
yo, me not, yo, me not, right?
to me, that's not to me. Again, to me, right? To me, a man thing different. But again, there's so many stereotypes in that show that was amplified over and over and over. Carlton, the good guy, talk to women, you know, with charm, swag, and you know the dog approach. Yeah, mama, you know, that's what. Will doesn't make no goddamn sense. Will doesn't even make sense, Rasta. But what? Appealing to the good girl. The bad boy and the good boy is boring. The good guy is boring.
But you two can't blame them now because some
No, sir, we're
females
talking about
actually,
programming,
some
sir.
females actually attracted to to man like that.
Some
You
and
get me?
some were programmed to. We're
You
not talking
the
exceptions.
same, you're the same when them a say gunman make them panty wet. So you can't have
One man in she old, she like that.
exactly.
That's what God. Again, yeah, we're not talking about we're not talking about the few, we're not talking about the exception, we're not talking about the one them were programmed. Just like the one them we watch Badman show and them find the Badman show more enticing than the show where the man and the woman work together and turn themselves in a this. No. Them find more pleasure than the one with the man and the woman lick down the married couple and them kill the brother and take the millions and then run to this Bonnie and
Yo,
Clyde.
and it is so behind. Yo, it like we can never understand why some females say um thing there. Like if you not beat her, you not love her. Like me hear that already, I'm look, I'm
No,
like,
I've
you
dated a
serious?
girl like that, and I'm not gonna do it. So
It's not a psychological.
Come up on Netflix.
Like, you serious? Yes, that me hear that. But not knowledge. So I will never understand why females talk like that.
Over there on Netflix. Yeah, I hear it's a good watch.
Now look for you, look, I'm now watch that.
which movie? Which movie?
The movie, the man is a I want to say quote unquote a mafia guy and all these things, and you take with the people them data and tell us say yo, yeah,
At 365 matter, bro.
Oh, I
and
heard it
such,
was lame.
brother.
The cheap knockoff
Oh, yeah.
Shades of Grey.
I not tell you that. I haven't laughed so much in a long time since I watched that shit. But you know, after I finished watching it, I was like, you know, females who watch this and aren't traumatized. Yeah, man. Then put the chip inside on the head and then rewire on the system perfectly, man. Cause I don't see oh somebody can watch it as a female and not be outraged, but we all know what they get outraged for these days, you know.
I heard it was cringy.
Was
Yeah, my friend still going at that time.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going. And the funny thing, guess who wanna watch it? The wife. I was like, wow.
Your
That's
wife
not
is a winner.
She
Your
was like,
wife
yo,
is a
I wanna
winner.
watch Mortal Kombat. I'm like, but do you know anything about it? She's like, no, but it seems like a movie I'd watch. I'm like, wow. Because I mean, I've played the game, so I'm just saying.
I see why you married her.
I know, right?
My sister-in-law is amazing. Tell her I said that.
I will. Yo, I think our next year may come back. This year, well, cloudy. I'm not sure I get
Yeah.
what I
alright.
most definitely.
So
We
Well,
can't
hold
have
on,
to-
sorry. To touch on the color purple, like the stereotypes. Oh
Mhm.
crap! Yes, I remember. Oh wow! That movie was dark.
It was horrible, really. Have you ever watched it? I mean, the other guys, you ever watch it? With Oprah Winfrey and
I won't
Whoopi
lie.
Goldberg.
When I watched it, when I was younger, I looked at it. I said, "Oh, coming of age story." No, I am audibly running for the hills.
I cringed back then.
I did too.
No, yeah, no. You see me, I was like in a matrix. I was being programmed. You see me.
I
Me
never,
take
you
the
know,
take the, take the red pill.
I'll be honest with you. Growing up, I never seen them things. Like I won't lie, rape did happen, but it wasn't, and it wasn't treated the same way when I was growing up. You understand me? It wasn't a freak show or something people laugh about, or it was nothing like what media portray it. Like the community did take that stuff very serious, you know. Apart from the police, the people themselves did their own investigation. And if them can find out and figure out who it is before the police get them hand on it, I think when that jungle justice did exist, it still did exist. So I'm just saying, when the color purple came out and this horrible narrative was being painted about black men, and I'm like, but that's not my reality. I mean, if a girl get raped and them go find it, and the man them normally fix the man who them fuck business. So, you know, from off the rip, you know something wrong with this movie. But then it only got worse. It only got worse because social media ran with it. They ran with it. And from there, so, and then I'm be honest with you, I also kind of blame black man too. Dead ass. I blame my own. I blame the black race. I blame man to sit back when this kind of foolishness was being taught. Everybody just keep them lip quiet because them afraid to get shot at. Honestly, to be honest with you, it takes a lot out of you to be honest and speak the truth and speak it to the fullest. I can see why most people like Kevin Samuels, like Rick and Morty. You know why? Funny, even as a cartoon. You know why people like Rick and Morty? Especially Rick. Do anybody know why?
Because it bases things off of our own reality what we live in now mostly, and because most
no. Rick is an asshole. That's why they like it. Rick, Kevin Samuels, and I think me. Yeah, I think I'd fall in that category, give and take how I feel. But the point is, they speak the truth. Even when it hurts them family, they take it at that level because they know behind how blunt him drop it, there's meaning behind it. Even though they call him an asshole, they know, even though the message was very blunt and I guess rip off the band-aid, they take your time and ease. That's Rick.
Mhm.
But you can appreciate a man that can tell you the truth, whether you don't want to hear it or not. I'm just saying the real people can appreciate a man like that. Again, to every man his own, I guess. But
True.
those are the reason why most people fans. That's why they develop, especially Rick and Morty, got the huge fan base they got overnight because Rick was unapologetically an asshole. That's it. Same thing with Kevin Samuels. Even though he is speaking the truth, he's being an asshole about it. Yes,
Well,
he is.
our definition, our modern definition of an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, we can always add on all the other little titles, but I mean, push come to shove. Fortunately, men have been, and most away, if not all men, if any women are watching this, and I hope you do, because at the end of the day, I will say this, and I say this with good faith. I come to the table in good faith. I'm a married man. I have nothing to gain from telling women this, but this piece of information is coming from a good place. Coming from a good place. The truth hurts, but if you can process it and take it for what it is, it will help tremendously. It really does help tremendously. Especially when it comes to the nature of men, because that not teach anymore, apparently. Because women used to know the nature of men. Women never used to go against the nature of men. When men, was talking to men, a woman wouldn't just walk up to him and demand that him come and give her time. There's a time and place. But you say that nowadays, you're misogynistic. You're a control freak. That doesn't help ladies. Like that really doesn't help your case. Sometimes it's better for us to take it for what it is and move forward. Well, that's my perception, anyways. Just saying.
Totally agree. Goes back to the question: how long until more women mature and wise up to actually start accepting the truth, especially the truths that they already know?
Why?
I,
I'll take a while, but oh man, I say it'll take a while. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have seen some, at least in this little country of ours, and a little bit out there. But once again, the majority just outweighs the few. The majority are just so programmed to think one way, and they are so uncomfortable with learning new things that they refuse. And they say,
Sheep.
yo, no, hey, we don't want that. We want whatever a man like Derrick Jaxn can tell us.
and I find that sad because, like I said, I've spoken to young ladies on Facebook, and I mean, I've been challenged by a few ladies to ask me, who am I? Who am I to tell just this and that and devil knows what? And I'm
That's
like,
always the argument. That's always the argument. Like,
yeah, but
who are you? Like, I'm just a guy trying to educate you. I'm not trying to be anything else. Like, it's always, and even some of our own black brothers even come to us, come to me with that. They say, yo, who am I to tell them how to live their life? I'm saying, brother, if you want to go and dive off the cliff and die, I mean, be my guest. I'm just telling you that you're going to die.
But again, I won't lie. Oh, yeah, you have something to say, though? Oh, as you were saying something.
No, go ahead.
I mean, some people might look on it and say, oh, you don't know people, or you can't voice about something that you don't understand. And I'm like, but I'm a man. What do you mean I don't understand? I mean, I'm not just here standing. I'm actually a part of this relationship. And that's something I feel no people have forgotten.
Why, Bradshaw, just say that. Just say
Man
that.
exists too.
I just remember when a certain female look at me and say, until men start getting raped, they won't understand. Not tell a lie. Not tell a lie. I when you're doing a video game and you see the anger bar just build up to a level where you can't go back. Yeah, that's happened. And I'm looking and I'm say, yeah. So let me get violated by my own species. Yeah, I'm going to understand a lot. I'm going to understand so much, aren't I? Like when people say that crap, like do they really understand the repercussions of what they're trying to say or what they're trying to push?
As in, but it makes no as in again. Them don't know. It makes no sense because men get raped.
Yes, they
They
do.
just don't say anything about it.
And that's what they don't understand. And I tried to explain that to a girl on Facebook. I'm like, I said the only reason why you're making such, outlandish statements is because if men was to truly step forward and tell you how much women do them things and how much harassment, how much on a day-to-day basis, there's a guy in my workplace, right? I mean, we just last week or week before we went to sexual harassment training by the head office, right? They sat us down and we had a conversation explaining, say, sexual intent and it's not appropriate and this and that and but the following week, guess what happened to the guy who likes to talk to all the ladies? Them start the harassment and start feeling him up and all this. And sometimes I'm gonna laugh but then you look afterwards, you can tell he feels violated. I'm like,
no, but alright, years ago, at a baseball match, a lady jumped over the fence, grabbed one of the players by his ass, and ran away. And they were saying, imagine if a man did this at a female sporting event.
wow.
First,
Would have flipped over on his head.
flipped over upon his head. Then when I said, where is he? Why is he not being by his neck?
Sir, they would have ate him alive. Bones and all, uniform and all. Nothing would left.
And
once again, double standard.
And honestly, it's like the more you try for it's not as if we come across but for the most part, I try not to come across as if I'm trying to attack people's points. But like when people really said, like when women, especially young women, say that crap to me, something in my head just shift, and I'm like, they really are trying to get me off this night. You really are good there, really. You have a look for. You really look for me and tell me say that's the only way for men to understand. I said, if you look at the statistics, especially in Jamaica here, I'm pretty sure men are more outlandish and outrageous, especially when women, well, the manly men, not about little idiot, them were just soft and not really voice their opinion and are afraid of people to talk, They are outlandish with their opinion and they say, yo, man, enough to do that and this and that. But apparently that's talking about isn't enough. We need action. Yeah, sure.
I think, society has gotten so easy to the point where women can just say things and just assume that alone can change the world. And you see, don't feel away. This is why, forgive me, ladies, but even Samuel's right. Most of y'all don't even know how the world will live in and work. Only thing saying it is going to make it does fix, And I say work. It takes effort. I'm sorry. And I said this to someone on Facebook, and I know she feels some kind of way because it's like life comes with no guarantee. So for all the things what she have to endure as a wife and this and that, and I say, the only reason why there's no guarantees because society strive to give ladies no fault divorces and this. So that when that was created, that's when to me the nuclear family went to hell, real talk. When that became real, because no fault divorce is something you can just you sign a few papers and it's literally done unless one time getting divorced would take years just to get processed. This is if you say you're filing divorce, sir, we're talking about at least 5 to 7 years before that thing finally come true. It's a
even if
long time.
It's a
even in
long
that time,
time.
even in that time span, they probably can or would work back together depending.
Exactly. That's why it took so long. Because them know say you're human, but what? When you file for divorce, but you couldn't leave the married house. So you have to see the person. Unless like it's ridiculous, like there's no come, and even when it's no coming back, you still try to find. And I said the no fault divorce thing hurt the black race, especially black women. If you were bored with the man when you're just there with him, guess what? If you had no way out, you'd have to find a way to make it work. If there was no way out, guess what? You'd have to put in effort. I saw it work. When I told my wife, hold on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Continue, man. That good, man.
One night I had a conversation with the wife, and I asked her, "Do you know the original reason for marriage? Do you know the original reason for marriage, gentlemen? Before me get the answer."
Just to amass wealth for families and stuff like that.
No. I mean, yes, but no. But that wasn't the original reason. Well, it does say it's a part of the reason, but no. Actually, one word to begin with the letter D. And if you really think about it after me get the answer, you're going to really think back, go way back, and you're like, oh, yeah, it makes sense. And give up?
Yeah.
Duty. Originally, when man and woman got married, they got married for duty.
Yeah.
That was the original reason for marriage. And if you really think about it, look back through most of the most important marriages, as quote unquote, in history. Majority of them were married before them even get to see the person they're married to.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people, and the West learned how to romanticize
And make money off of it.
and made money, just like Christmas. They found a way to monetize Christmas. They found a way to monetize Easter. They found a way to monetize almost every holiday that had a spiritual tie-in. They found a way to monetize it. If you really think about it, just saying. Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. But yeah, that was the original reason for marriage. It wasn't for love. It wasn't for soulmates. It wasn't for the romance. And oh my God, he's 6'5" and he's so dream. No.
You know.
Oh my
honestly,
God, Derrick Jaxn!
Honestly, I'm surprised that when I heard some of that crap.
Hold on, pause a second. And by the way, sad as this may seem, way back in the 18 and the 1700s, when women weren't as fine and as fabulous, when God by miracle make one that was a 9, stunning, very gorgeous. It took no time before her beauty reached a nobleman's home, and him right come married her. This was how some of the people them actually they gain land and title and them farm the land and then them become rich, and then their family become more nobility because their daughter married a nobleman and then them become rich after that. But the point me I try to make is gorgeous women from either in the past or in the future, them normally get swooped up regardless.
Well,
Yeah, but duty, but even so, there was a duty behind the marriage.
Get that out of my face, yeah, man. Cause right about now,
bro.
No, I want Dario show me a while ago. I said, yo, I want to see.
I was looking for this picture to actually explain our earlier point where the woman was saying men don't know anything about rape because we need to get raped to understand what. Let's say, and some thing was that men know how to be cheated on and stay in the relationship. Men have been raped men go through trauma just like you. But we don't talk like in the Bridgertons, as the Viscountess Bridgerton said, we shall do what women do and talk. You talk about everything. If a man have you looking stupid, you tell the world. You know we have social media, so you go on Twitter. Oh, my boyfriend is cheating on me with 10 different women. Oh, my boyfriend is sleeping with my best friend.
No proof.
My boyfriend made me look like an idiot. Hashtag niggas ain't shit.
No
That's
proof.
your thing. It happens to us too, but we're not gonna tell the world.
Honestly, no, I know this has
So I don't
nothing.
see why you're complaining when you look like an idiot 24/7 to the whole world, but we don't. Why are we gonna tell the world that we look like it, that we were embarrassed, that we feel ashamed?
It's called lack of accountability, sir. It's called lack of accountability.
Honestly, as much as I know this has nothing to do with our topic, but Twitter was really just a place where people could voice their opinions, and you had an educated discussion when it just started. When it just started, you had the hashtag.
Fair enough.
The trends weren't as blatant, but it was there. But yesterday when the man who created, and the man said it out of own mouth, the man say, "Oh, I've created a monster that I can't ever take down ever again." Because why would he? The man make money off it, and the man said it out of own mouth. The man said this was not the purpose of Twitter, but because of all the fantasies and the groups that have plagued the social media, them come like a one virus. Them infect and destroy.
Honestly, I believe it all went downhill when people started to get their political and their personal feelings intertwined, where we couldn't separate the two. And from there, I believe that's where Twitter truly went downhill.
It's basically the similar thing with Derrick Jaxn.
Exactly. You couldn't separate reality from reality from fantasy, really, because fantasy is where all the money was at. Money there, reality too, but reality takes a longer time, to soak in.
And you need to be brave to actually speak about reality.
Yes.
And that is what we
accountable for a lifestyle that they chose. And I will say this to anybody who gets upset after I speak, but you chose to play with Doodoo. Or you forget Vex. You chose to dip your hand. You smelt it from afar. You knew it was Doodoo. You knew. But you still chose to play with it.
True.
When you step in that nasty up now, how you can Vex with a dog? May that make sense?
No, but alright. A similar example. Not last year because we had Corona, or Corona began. Year before, I'm giving my virgin some relationship advice. Zine, he's telling me about this girl that he's known her for a while, and all of us just out of the clear blue sky, she now likes him because he's liked her from before, from the early part in high school. Now leaving high school and for whatever reason now the crush just kind of died down. And now he has a girlfriend that actually likes him. And all of a sudden, this girl just up and say, "Oh, okay, I like you now. Let's date." I'm like, that sounds too suspicious. I think she just likes the idea of you, or the idea of you liking her. She just wants your attention. She doesn't actually want you. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And the man is like, but I've liked her from before, and I think we can actually work this out. And I'm like, bruh.
Here we go.
Oh, it's a trap.
And I mean, so said, so done. And he was heartbroken.
Flipping
Oh,
and the man come to me now. I tell him about how I'm heartbroken. So I say, yo, 6 weeks ago, when you came to me with this issue on 3 occasions, did I not say, don't talk to this young lady? Yeah, but what? But
You
But
see,
Disney Channel, and I can save her. I can save her from herself. You know, I mean, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for so long to prove to her that she's
uh,
been wrong all this time.
oi,
That
oi,
Bella,
she's
you
Bradshaw,
wrong.
were in
bro,
the clear. You were
Mhm,
over the girl. You
oi,
found somebody else that actually
bro,
likes you for you,
there's a
and you
female.
said no.
There's a
I know you're
female,
complaining. What is the
and
logic behind this, fam?
That's where
that,
the argument normally goes off rail with most people. Once you ask them to make it make sense, then them try to take the petty route or the.
yo, I've never been one to make light of someone's past deeds or like their trauma that they go through, and sometimes I sympathize with it, sometimes I try to understand. But when you come to me and tell me you want my advice and I give it to you, and said person does shady shit, even shit to you at first, and you disintegrate the relationship, and then you come to me and tell me you're still talking to them, and I tell you that the person is just using you to for emotional manipulation, and you like the big clown you are, go
Mhm,
back to them and get used for all you are worth. Come and
mhm.
you're running into my inbox to cry to me. No, I refuse. I completely refuse.
And I agree. I agree, sir. I
Because there's
agree.
no way, your head can't so tough, your head can't so big, where you can't see the writing on the wall. This person never wanted you in the first place, so why then go want to the second time? Or what? This magical transformation, you turn into a fantastic beast where you're
No,
You won the
shining,
sir.
lottery.
shining like a diamond or something.
No, because in the minds of most man, from what we establish, what we consider, so we want, we don't really care about anything else. This is why when old flings, when you're away for no long come, and then you realize say, you're about to walk with your wife of 3, 4 years. You understand me? People don't consider them things, and when they go, car, please themselves first. Most people don't understand. So we are all ethnocentric people, egocentric. Sorry, ego. Most of we are we're egocentric. We're naturally ego-driven people, and that's me being honest. I don't care if nobody consider me lying or, oh, he's just talking because no, we are naturally ego-driven people. I'm no better than anybody else. I'm not the exception. And to say that your ego doesn't, your ego is always in complete check is a lie. And to pretend like, nobody, me have my ego. No, it comes out. You just don't notice. That's the problem. Most of us don't know when the ego is in control and when rational thinking is being put, for sit on the back seat. We don't even know when the ego switch over and we forget people, you know, can tell.
Because afterwards, some of us would actually like introspect and realize, but
Yeah, but that's the
whatever.
that's
Yeah.
that but that's it. That's the difference between someone who can look back at something and
Yeah,
educate themselves.
if you're mature enough to be able to actually do some introspection and say, hey,
But that,
say this was a bad idea, this was a wrong move, or what.
no, because me not tell you lie. Because I recall when Bradshaw when comes and call me up on my bullshit. Me look back on it, and me say, say, yeah, talking out of my ass again. Need to do better. Understand myself and ease my little self. You see me? Cause I remember, cause I look back on it, and I did my research. I did it. And I say, yo, it's a different still. Me fi do better. Me fi stop this a fool. You see me? But it takes someone to be humble and to understand themselves. But somebody who dep on a different plane of existence, no sir, them not do that. Oh no, never. Then kill you upon the cross before they ever comes and consider that.
I want to call names, but I won't.
No, no,
Yes,
no, no.
let's not do that,
The
shall we?
last time we call name, we hear say, oh, we're being judgmental and we not speak facts. We're talking out of our ass and all that bullshit. So we're not dep on it, isn't it?
Anyway, alright, so we're gonna move on to the last talking point again. Uh,
Let us make this point a bit the final point, because
this is the last point. We got what, 15 minutes? So, does black trauma sell? And if so, who's peddling it for profit?
Ooh.
Oh, I wish the girls were here for this. But yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes. Black trauma does exist. Does anybody refute?
I mean, objectively, we are the poorest people on earth, so I guess our problems are probably more popular.
Oh yeah. The black household tearing itself apart. Oh yeah, that makes millions.
The woman
Daily.
is the man, and the man is the woman. The woman wants to rule her man, and the man is submissive. And for those who want, they refuse, and it's creating this. I mean, in every corner you turn a black society, there is a conversation happening right now. I hope it's for the better, but it's about time society gets shaken up. Sex has lost its value. And I won't lie, growing up, you don't think that would have hold its value till this very day, no. Nope.
I'm saying,
Yo, at one point growing up, the effort men had to put in to get a girl's attention, not even get them panties yet, sir. Just to get her attention.
Just to get her phone number.
You feel me? To get the phone number was almost as if you see her naked already. That was how epic it was when a girl get her number one time,
off your chest and say, yeah.
Right, like, no, hold on. In high school, you guys know I'm a quiet person, not a big talker. But just to get a girl number and to be texting her every day and to think of a conversation to talk about every hour and the hour, every single day.
And it has to be relatable.
And I could do that.
Understand. It has to be relatable too. It's not just any conversation. Because the topic is difficult to lose interest.
Has to be something that matters to her. It's all about her.
You actually had to remember what she said.
Yes.
If you forget, you get
Oi,
you're good.
And look at me now. Hold on. Look at me now. I can't even ask a girl out.
Oh my God.
No. Better no, brother. Alright. It's not that he can't. It's because in his brain he's going over 150 million scenarios, wondering, what if? I don't know. But you see me?
Well, yes, I do overthink a lot. A part of that reason is because I'm always single. No, you laugh, but I'm always single. I spend so much time being single, and I enjoy it so much. Just to talk to a girl, in a flirtatious way.
Like I said before, then you are the exception as well. You fall under the exception. Not every man like the idea of being alone. You're comfortable by yourself. Nothing wrong with that.
Brethren, being alone is so peaceful. Like, I'm alone but never lonely.
I can say something with no shame. I used to be afraid to say it, but there are some times in my younger years, me used to say, "Oh, brother," the thought of being by myself, it used to shake me to my core. The entire foundations of Olympus itself was shaking me. I wonder, say, "Yo, why?" And now look for me now. One big old drunk who couldn't care less if a girl wants to leave me. Couldn't care less.
I'm not gonna lie, dog. I genuinely do enjoy being single.
The thing is, it's like you put so much effort into something when you were younger, and then when you really look at it, you say, but was it worth it though? Was it really worth all of that stress?
My biggest thing is being in a relationship and feeling lonely.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Because I mean,
if I were
one of my favorite rap
being
bands said this in a
careful.
song, Fall Out Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Two is a lonelier number than one.
Yes, weird as it may seem. But at the same time, I think it comes down to communication. You see, once you're conscious and mature enough, you understand so this thing takes actual work. It's
Yeah,
not Disney. It's not fueled by hopes and dreams and
it's not
sunshine
happily
and
ever
roses.
after.
Yeah, it's just fueled by me adult and you adult, and we understand that this union is because one, we actually like each other's company. Shoot, let's go further. We love each other. I know that sounds so wrong, right? But again, again, I'm going with the bare minimum, right?
Yeah.
We can stand on one another. You understand me? You know how uh, I'm up to everybody. Push come to shove. This is supposed to help. This is supposed to help. So, gentlemen,
So more
or
close up with this. The main black trauma I want to see black people get rid of
mm-hmm.
is violence against each other.
Yep.
That is legit my dream.
Yes, mine too. And as it relates to black trauma, I want this stigma. My personal. If Black Nation could, if Father God could, they could remove this to this every black somebody fast over. I wish black trauma would be aired out. It should stop being taboo. The only reason why people are making money off of it because nobody wants to address it head on. If they're addressed, like for instance, the brutal history of the United States, slavery and Jim Crow, years and years of history
Smoke breaking.
that had done all of that, all the tortures, all the evils that they did not teach their black people because I guess they didn't take a page of the England or Spain book. You know they didn't hide it from us. Dude, our first prime minister was a pirate. Oh, sorry, our first governor was a pirate. My correction, Jamaica. Our first governor was a pirate, Henry Morgan.
I remember that name vividly.
Yeah, but yet most Jamaicans don't know about
Yeah,
Marcus
yeah.
Garvey.
Yeah, man. For them, them style that.
And that's just one of the most one, and it's sad, but it's true though. Most Jamaicans don't know about their heroes, but we know about other people things.
You know that.
We
You
know
know
what
that.
George Washington got. We don't know what George Washington. We don't know what George
And he
Washington
chopped down the
got.
cherry tree.
Yeah, no. You must know what George Washington. We just don't know what George Washington got.
Brother, when me hear people are praising the name George Washington, me have to really look on them and say, you people are so blind. You're so blind. And I remember going up to the Great House, what they in a mobile they saw. And bro, man, they have the bear trap, what they have as a tourist attraction. I mean, look on it at first. I used to have a problem with it, but then I look on it objective and I say, it should be a reminder to people because the message goes over everybody's head when the tour guide explains. But I saw it and I said there should be a reminder of the atrocities that were committed. But I know Jamaicans and the people running this country, they're too cultured to really realize that message that is being sent to us. It's
You
just
mean
there.
to shelter? The correct term is sheltered. Because the government sheltered them very well. Just let me tell you something. I'm sorry. I'm not really want to go there, but it's sad because the same thing what Jamaica suffering from is kind of the same thing a lot of people up here in the US are suffering from. You know, want someone else to take up their responsibilities for them. And that no matter how much you beg or plead or would like someone else to do it, won't change your outcome. Because it's your life. Push come to shove. Ladies and gentlemen, your results are your own doing, of your own choosing. You do not sit down, or you do not sit down and play video games for 7 hours and only study for 15 minutes and go to a big exam. And if you get an F, you curse the exam, curse the instructor, curse yourself.
You're not a victim, you're an accomplice.
Exactly. And I hope men and women take that much from this. You can't sit back every day, every week, every month, blame everything in the book, everything around the house, everything except yourself. You never move from here, you'll never move forward. That's a reality enough people need for digest. You'll never get a better outcome if you keep doing the same exact things. You want a different outcome, do something different. When I say drop everything one time, just do something slightly different.
Yeah, like small gradual changes.
Gradual changes.
And
That's all I'm saying.
people think it's just some rush process. Like, just look on people who have been satisfied with what they have accomplished in life. They make it seem as if say, yo, it has to be some major world shift. Sometimes the simplest changes are the ones that make the biggest differences in the long run. That's just my theory on it, But until the accountability for people changes, just go through the same motions, continue the same path, and then when it's too late, they might talk about if I knew and all of that crap.
Alright, I want to close off with two more things. I want black men to actually start being men, and I want Rajiv and Doctor to stop pressuring me.
Hola.
Talk to people, them data. I will talk to her.
So hold on.
And my time. Don't pressure the eye.
So looking out for our brother for trying to mesh together this combination.
No, I'm not so not custom, but pressure the eye. I'm shy. I'm shy. I'm a cow skin, sir. I'm a cow skin, sir. Don't pressure me. Anyway.
No, you know what's funny? He is the shy one and she's the outgoing personality. Fancy that? Eh?
Wow.
You know too much of my business.
I know this much. I know this.
That's called friends.
You know too much about it. This is too much about it.
Anyway, you know the thing. When I went into her DMs and I mentioned this man's name, and she come and say, you know what? It should come out of my inbox. They said, murder.
What?
They said murder. Because it was an Urban Preach picture where the man did when the man here went puffy and the man did in bushes and the man have one little creepy face. And I said, yeah man, and then we Daria look on the people in thick as data. And my girl said, yeah me I say, I don't want to stop calling him. I said, sorry?
Y'all know too much about business.
I know this much.
I'm glad to just you and Rajiv alone know. Anyway. Closing off because Bradshaw got work tomorrow. I don't think I have work until maybe Wednesday, Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, and technical rainbow in between. Thank you again for tuning in. Wifey calling you. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Controversial Topics. We have been your hosts, Dario Dowie, Xavier, Dr. Andre Bradshaw. Rajiv has gone to bed or some bedtime activities.
You go really look for me and tell me that me attack your business. Look what you just tell the people, them sir. Really?
All right. The next time for that one, the Jenna.
Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Stay awesome, stay safe, and Bless up.
Yeah. Gentlemen, enjoy your night. Peace.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
All right.